Our next session, the future of entertainment. If the way we consume news and buy products has changed, it is perhaps appropriate to say that the way we consume entertainment has undergone a paradigm shift. But good stories told well still strike a chord, don't they? So, what changes? What doesn't? To tell us more, we have with us today Dr. Bhaskar Das, Director, Content Yunometa Private Limited, Professor and Mentor, Center for Media and Entertainment Studies, MICA. He earned his first doctorate in marketing management during his 3 decade stint at the Times of India Group at the ripe young age of 56 years. At BCCL, Dr. Das was responsible for 90% of the company's turnover. In 6 years as president response, the group's advertising revenue grew from 1,560 crores to 4,200 crores. He was on the board of BCCL and its subsidiaries. Dr. Das subsequently served as executive president DB Corp Limited and as group CEO of Z Media Corporation Limited. More recently, before taking the plunge into the metaverse and NFT, he was Group President and Chief Strategy Officer, Republic Media Network. He also earned a second PhD in social listening as a young 67-year-old. He is credited with substantial contributions to industry bodies. He currently serves as secretary, the Ad Club, and was president of the body when we witnessed its confluence with the Advertising Agencies Association of India to bring the prestigious Abbey Awards to Goa Fest, India's largest gathering of advertising, media, and marketing professionals. A keen student himself, Dr. Das has also spent over 1,000 hours addressing young minds at premier institutes, including the Harvard Business School, Wharton, MIT, IIM, and ISB. In the meantime, he is also preparing the ground for a third doctorate in consumer behavior. Who better to study the present and predict the future of entertainment? Please join us welcoming with a hearty round of applause Dr. Bhaskar Das.
Good afternoon, and even at the risk of uttering a cliche after lunch, so feel fall asleep so that there is no question. But the format of the program, I understand, as Gokul has told me, that I have to speak for 10 minutes, few words, and then we can have a fireside chat, though there is no fire around. But his questions are very fiery, incidentally. Uh, See, from the morning, people have been speaking about how the world has changed, and then future of entertainment. When I was told, I said it's very simple. It will always be fantastic. Actually, my talk is over. Now, why you should listen to it? And anything more than that? Why you require entertainment? Because you're bored with your life. So you require escapism. You need fun, and that's why you do. You love to see Amazon, Netflix. You want to go for partying. You have to drive aways and everything. The future of entertainment is fantastic. But since I have to talk for 10 minutes, might as well talk. I've realized all these nice words told by the MC has no meaning. 42 years, who is bothered about 42 years? This is such a liability. I'm embarrassed about my description. And when Gokul asked for it, I said, why? How people are interested in knowing my stupas? What I delivered today is more important. I said, tell them that Bhaskar Das is a traveling student. So from a student, if they're interested, you can learn it. Some people might have queries. Do I have fetish for getting PhDs? No. Just I'm trying to remove my ignorance. 1980 MBA, so you can imagine how bad it is. World was very different then. Then now I've realized there are actually two worlds. They are actually, people say BC and AC, the way it was used to be before Christ and after AD. So I'm saying it's actually BP and DE. Before pandemic and during endemic. Now it's endemic, no? There's no one is wearing mask and all that. And this is going to stay. It's not going to go anywhere like dengue or whatever. Dysentery, like, or for that matter, you do not know, more people die out of dysentery than COVID. So I said, if I divide this in two parts, might as well talk about what has happened during this period to entertainment. Let's not look at anything else. Last 2 years have upended every assumption of every business, every human being, the way we consume, the way we interact, the way we transact. And people have talked about it. I don't want to repeat it. But post-COVID, I'm noticing that there is a demand shift. Demand patterns have started showing signs of consumer actively seeking alternatives to get entertained. And with digital infrastructure growing, both in terms of handset, in terms of bandwidth, in terms of huge plethora of content, and so adoption of digital media have accelerated. Someone commented that what happened in the last 2 years in terms of digital transformation, it is more than the previous 10 years. So that's the level of change. So if you look at it, that as a side effect, consumption pattern have exponentially increased. Like gaming, music. Gaming today is number 3 in terms of advertising spend. I feel sometimes very lucky that I have left print at the right time. When I joined this industry, it was 80% of the industry. But there might be someone from the print, don't curse me. Current data says it's 5%. But anyway, I have a higher base, so don't feel bad about it. It's part of life. So everything has to end. But television itself is number 2. Number 1 is digital. And then number two is television, then gaming. They are different, separated gaming. But with gaming and digital is 43%. Television is around 38, 39. So those who are in television, they should also get concerned. Upskill yourself. Now this demand side shift has forced the supply side to get reorganized. So as a result, M&E industry availed of all the opportunities to reinvent themselves and experiment with their business models. While all this has been happening, the basic game has not changed. Basic game has remained same. Rules have, however, changed. The basic game is what? Consumption. Acceleration is due to fascination for escapism and entertainment, and need for innovative routes for monetization. It is no longer a linear model. It's really because there has been fragmentation of media, fragmentation of mind, intercategory migration of attention, and intercategory migration of cash. So automatically monetization routes have changed. So every format of delivery, now the rules of the game have changed, I've been talking about. Every format of delivery to consumers, TV, print, radio, digital, gaming, etc., had video, audio, text, and experiential products and started redefining themselves. Now, even today when I teach in MICA, people ask, should I join radio, should I join television? I say, you can't say that now. Because it's a screen agnostic media format, and within that, if you say, should I be an expert in text? Should I be an expert in audio? Should I be an expert in video? Should I be an expert in experiential? I understand. You can't call. So then they ask, does it mean formats will vanish? I said, no. You think horizontally, act vertically, which means it's a more complementary mindset. You must understand you can be a text, but the text of a digital organization and text of Times of India will be very different from, say, for instance, Daily Hunt. Previously, there was also another rules have changed. Community used to be around a lump of people that you consider a segment. But thanks to AI, AR, and ML, it has empowered media companies to reconstruct community around individual to the point of n is equal to 1. And this they're using recommendation tool, voice recognition, and media automation to accelerate this trend. I still remember, I give this example. One day by mistake I saw in Amazon one Bengali film, a Bengali detective called Byomkesh Bakshi. My God, every time I open Amazon, first Bengali films come. But this is called algorithm. There's a limit. So the more I see, more it comes. Then I start seeing South Indian film. So I sing Pushpa, and then all Tamil films or Telugu films, whatever that comes up. I loved it. That's a different subject. So Now and then, the latest one that is going on, where I'm working as an advisor, they've given me a nice designation called director content, because I understand content. Online's persistent presence and interconnected digital environment gave birth to metaverse, which is basically blockchain. And trust me, if internet is, you think big, blockchain is going to be bigger than internet. It's much safer, much trustworthy, and privacy is taken care of. So this has given rise to metaverse, a non-fungible token, or in short, NFT. So a new creator economy has come. So you must understand the protocols of creator economy is going to be different. Though it's still escapism, still it's entertainment. But now creator, you have become the creator. New ways of distribution are evolving. You will be surprised that today the biggest media company is Amazon, if they want to, because they have that level of access to consumers. So they are using intelligent media. Innovative monetization routes are calibrated continuously through strategic partnership acquisitions and mergers. But the latest one, of course, you might be knowing, Netflix tying up with Microsoft for monetization of their AVOD model, which is advertising based video on demand model. Now, as I told you, the community building is around individual. So you'll find today people are not looking at niche in the market. People are looking at market in the niche. It can be an LGBT niche. It can be women. It can be on health. It can be on anything else. So the game continues in the form of attracting the fleeting attention of the consumers, retaining them, transacting with them for value creation and, of course, valuation. I'll end this so-called 10 minutes, one year with a Gokul. I have a theory, of course, I got it from Mark Pardee, who is an independent economist and tech advisor. Every company today is either a tech company, actually not either, tech company and an entertainment company. Because you are talking about new brand definition is about how do you create a serendipitous experience in the consumer journey across the value chain, across the nodes. And that is what is most important, that every company has to be in entertainment business. You have to entertain in some form. Whether you're a high-tech company, Larsen and Toubro, you might be doing it in B2B, but every business is D2C. And ultimately, if you want demand-side growth, it has to be a C2C business. Conversation must happen. I'll tell you one of the announcements that came from Netflix, and to support my case of entertainment. Netflix announcement came, they mentioned that we compete with and lose to Fortnite more than HBO. So HBO and Netflix in a sense linear. But they lose out to Fortnite, which is a royal gaming platform. Now that caused a star in the marketplace. But if you look at facts, sheer facts, Netflix, and it's not growing, has 149 million subscribers compared to 250 million users of the royal gaming platform. Now, time spent on traditional media is really under pressure. And consumer attention is harder to win and get. They're impatient. If you look at I teach to post 2000 born kids. I ask them, buy media, hands raised. You'll get shocked immediately. There are 46 students in the class. My apologies to print colleagues. How many of you read newspaper? No hands raised. Not here, in my class. Post 2000 born. Until unless you are post 2000 born, anyone is here? How many of you see television? 4 hands. I say, so cut the cord, connected TV. How many of you seen Amazon, Netflix, Hotstar? 90% students raised hand. I said, how many of you see Old Balaji? 1 hand. How many of you have seen Shimaru? No hand. And there are 61 OTT players are there. You can imagine how difficult it can be for the business model. So the whole concept of interactivity that have come, the whole concept of I am in it, being there, I'm not interested. I'm talking about those generations. Don't talk about me, my generation or others. Okay, I also see maximums today Amazon and Netflix and Hotstar. The level of entertainment that has gone to, I'll give you the latest partnership that has happened. Unbelievable partnership. Starbucks with Alibaba. Where is the connection? No connection. So they created an amusement park for coffee. It's in metaverse, complete with augmented reality, where consumers can learn about roasting process and unlock virtual memes by pointing their phones to the icons in the store for the coffee that you want. In case of L'Oreal, they have done in the metaverse 64 beauty looks of myself that Bhaskar Das can look 60. Obviously, it's not for me, for some women. 64 beauty looks on their phone by L'Oreal. Now, the next great content convergence will prove more revolutionary, bringing next generation technology. For example, augmented reality I mentioned, artificial intelligence for recognizing a pattern, machine learning for predicting trends, Internet of Things, and haptic technology, where basically you can touch and sense and feel. It will be multi-sensory and interactive. Future is predictable now. It will be uneven, that's a different thing, but it will be multi-sensory and interactive. I can see the ways in which this convergence will change the nature of consumption. The way you are consuming, more importantly, don't look at yourself. Today, generation gap is 5 years. So if you have a 10-year-old daughter or a son, and if you have a 5-year-old daughter and a son, you will see the generation gap, how it is happening. Definitely your children are no longer like you. And most importantly, parenthood is under competition. My son, when he was young, he never asked for my advice on anything. He used to go to his Facebook community to get the opinion. So I personally feel some of the key trends I notice, being there. I want to be there. Metaverse, my virtual reality. Discovery. It's not about consideration. AIDA model is not working. First is discovery, which means you are exploring. Discovery is not curiosity. Discovery is about haptic, olfactory, which is very important. Next important thing is imagination, storytelling. That's very important because surprise has also become a commodity. You are as good as your last surprise. That's why I use the word serendipitous. You didn't know that you want it, you suddenly discover it. Wow. And of course, entertainment as a concept is much more powerful than cold efficiency of numbers and of course or histrionics in the news studio.